How's it going, everyone? This is Dave at Simply Xbox. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at RetroMania Wrestling, the official sequel to the 1991 smash hit in the arcades, WWF WrestleFest. So here we are in 2021, and since WrestleFest released back 30 years ago, we've had quite a lot of really great wrestling games. Probably not the ones of the last couple of years or so, they haven't been that great, but if you disagree with me, leave a comment below, but I'm sure you will agree with me. But what WrestleFest did really, really well was it kept things simple, kept things fun, and RetroSoft Studios have just released RetroMania Wrestling, the official sequel to WWF WrestleFest. So as soon as you start the game and it loads up, you're greeted with a very retro style menu, hence the name. Straight to the point, laid out nicely. It's got all the game modes that you might expect. So you've got singles match, you've got tag match, you've got 6-man tag, you've got 8-man tag, you've also got a retro rumble, and you've also got a mode called £10 of gold, which actually is very similar to the mode that you played on the Saturday night main event from WrestleFest. So you had to work your way through to win the championship. This £10 of gold is very, very similar to that. There are also match tweaks that you can do to add things on, like a steel cage. You can take the count out completely of the match if you would like to. You've got a timer that you can put on there. There's different little things that you can add or even take away from the matches. You've also got quite a few arenas as well that you can select from. It's quite a selection. Some of them are really nice as well. In fact, do you know what? They're all really nice and they're all very different. They've all got their own little characteristics and they've all got their own little charm. So the roster in this game consists of 16 wrestlers in total. There are going to be more coming in future DLC packs according to the developer, but the roster's decent, it looks good. It's got the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, also known as the Legion of Doom, Johnny Retro, also known as Johnny Nitro, you've got Tommy Dreamer, New World Order. The roster itself is actually pretty good. Now I just want to go back to one of the characters I just mentioned, Johnny Retro. There is actually a story mode in this game, and I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that's going to pick the game up, but it was really good, really surprising, and it's multiple choice, so decisions that you make depend on how the game pans out for you, whether you're a babyface or whether you decide to turn heel. It's actually a really nice addition to the game, and I was actually surprised to see it in there. The reason why I'm mentioning Johnny Retro is because Johnny Retro is the main character that you control in the story mode. Basically, he's been out injured and this is his road back from injury. And as I said, the decisions that you make, they impact the path that you take Johnny on. And there's some really funny moments, there's some really good moments as well. And yeah, I think if you're going to pick this game up, you need to give the story mode a go. It's really worth a playthrough. But I know you're thinking it, and I can hear you say, Dave, how does it play? It plays really well. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It does play really well. It plays almost identical to WWF WrestleFest. The only difference I could really tell was I remember WrestleFest being a little bit slower. RetroMania Wrestling is definitely sped up slightly, but it's for the better. I think it adds to the gameplay, it adds to the fun of the game. The moves themselves are actually surprisingly varied. Each wrestler's got generic moves which pretty much spreads across the whole roster, but they've also got their own signature and special moves as well. What's really cool is later in this video you're going to see me controlling the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, and I actually do the Doomsday device. It's so cool. The grappling in RetroMania Wrestling is actually quite unique. There is quite a bit of timing involved. It will take some getting used to. It took me some getting used to, but once I mastered it, it was really good. Now, depending on what momentum bar you're on, depends on what move you can do. So you have 3 sections to your momentum bar. You've got section 1, 2 and 3. If section 1's filled up, you can do your light moves. If section 2 is lit up, you can do your light and medium moves. And then if you've got all 3 lit up, you can do your power moves. There's 2 ways you can fill your momentum bar in RetroMania Wrestling. That is, the first one being beating your opponent to a pulp. The second one is taunting. Yes, there's taunts in this game, and they're great. They're cheesy, but they're great. They're so cool. the time that I've spent playing RetroMania Wrestling, I've really enjoyed the gameplay, and it's really addictive. It's surprising how addictive it is. You go on for a quick half an hour, and before you know it, 2 hours have passed, you've had loads of fun. It's just a really fun game to play. It's not perfect in the gameplay department, but I've been following the vlogs from the developer on YouTube quite a lot, and I know their commitment to this game, so expect some future updates that are going to tweak certain things with not just the gameplay but other areas as well. Visually, this game ticks all the boxes. It gives you that nostalgic feeling. As soon as you turn it on, you're going to be familiar with it. If you're as old as I am and you remember WrestleFest, you're going to be familiar with this game from the off in terms of its visuals. It's very, very similar, but it's high def, it's a lot sharper, it's a lot more vibrant than WrestleFest was. Visually, RetroMania Wrestling, it looks really, really nice. Even the animations to the characters and the way that they lie in the ring, especially when you've beaten them down to a certain point, they'll lie in the rings in a slightly diagonal way. This shows that you're able to do your special finisher on them. It's pretty much identical animation-wise to WrestleFest. Again, with just a little bit more polish, and it brings back so many great memories for me, especially when I was an 11-year-old boy in 1991, playing at the time WrestleFest that was nothing like it visually, and to go back 30 years with this game now, it's fantastic. For a retro style game, the visuals, they're sharp, they're vibrant, and it's just everything you would expect from a game based on the famous WrestleFest game from '91. Even the audio in this game is retro. As repetitive as the theme song is to this game, it sounds great. It's brilliant. I love it. The sound effects in the game itself, again, it brings back those memories. You get that nostalgic feeling, and it just makes you remember the games of the past, and it just makes you realise the attention to detail that the RetroSoft Studios have gone to with this game. They should be really proud of what they've achieved with this, because they've hit the nail right on the head, and this is worthy of being called, in my opinion, the official sequel to WWF WrestleFest. While this isn't really a review video, it's more of a breakdown of what to expect from the game and the features of the game and everything else, I can't help but show my enthusiasm for this title. It's a title I've been following the development of for such a long time, because it was touted as the official sequel to WrestleFest, and because I loved WrestleFest so much, I wanted this game to be good. I really did want it to be good, and it hasn't disappointed. RetroMania Wrestling is that old school nostalgic feeling brawler that you would play with your brothers or your sisters, or even if you had a few friends around, you'd all grab a pad and you'd all have a brawl with each other, and it's just really, really good, and you can enjoy playing on your own, or you'll be able to enjoy it with friends. Either way, you're going to have fun with this game. And I mean, once you've played all the modes, you've done the story, and you've played the AI I don't know how many times, the longevity in this game really does lie with playing with your friends or your brothers or your sisters, and that's where the longevity is in this game, plus the commitment from the developer as well in terms of the DLC that they're going to be added. And obviously there's going to be some future updates, I would have thought, just to tweak a few things here and there, but the longevity overall in this game is going to be with the multiplayer. But even in saying that, you know, the story is definitely replayable because of the decisions that you have to make throughout. You might start off by going through it as a heel, then you might want to go through it as a babyface. There's different avenues, definitely, and the content that's in the game, really, I think RetroSoft Studios should be very proud. They've done a really great job with this. RetroMania Wrestling sounds great, looks great, plays great, it is great. If you're a massive fan of WWF WrestleFest, as I am, there's no doubt you're going to love this game. If you're a fan of old style beat 'em ups, you're going to love it as well. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, I can honestly say that you'd probably enjoy this game. I can't recommend it enough, and yeah, I'm having a whale of a time with it. So that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed making it. I've enjoyed playing this game. Congratulations to RetroSoft Studios. You've done a great job. And yeah, as I said at the start of the video, if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to us. It really does mean a lot. And I'll see you again soon. Take it easy.